friends, and welcome to the homestead. If this is the first time you're visiting with us, we want to extend to you a very warm welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. Today we're in the kitchen here in the homestead. That ever since we moved into the house, we wanted to do a little bit of upgrading, and we have upgraded a little bit. We made a nice ceiling light to replace the track lighting that was here in the past. And now we're going to attack the cabinets, and today we are going to start refinishing the cabinets and making them a little more modern, right? Mm-hmm. And what we're going to do is we're going to make them look like a Saker style cabinet. Yep. And we're going to do that the easy way, or the cheating way, or whichever way you think it's the most appropriate way to call it. But we are going to make them look like Saker style. We're not going to throw them away. Part of our philosophy here at the homestead is that we do not want to fill the landfills, right?
Right.
We don't like to throw things away. And the wood in these cabinets is actually very good. There is no reason to throw it away. It's just that it looks dated.
Yeah, these are original cabinets, and thankfully they are, and it works in our favor that they're so plain, because that's easy to upgrade without replacing all of the doors, which is much more costly.
And also, if you mess things up, you can replace just the cabinets or make new cabinet doors, So it is a project, you don't want to mess it up, of course, but there is a consolation price if it doesn't look good, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to start by removing a cabinet door. We're doing one at a time, or you can do it all at the same time. It depends on how you want to do it. So the first step will be to remove the hardware. We need to keep the hardware, right?
Yep. Definitely keep the hardware. There's no point in buying new.
And don't drop it on the floor if you can help it. Now the way I'm doing it is to make it easier on myself, so I'm leaving only one screw on each hinge, and then I'm going to remove the top one last. Does it make sense?
Yep.
That way I can hold the door in position, And when we install them, we'll do the same way. We're going to put one, preferably this middle one, right?
Yep. The other thing about reusing cabinets that are here, you don't have to worry about finding cabinets that are precisely the size you need. They already have the holes drilled where they need to be.
Okay, and here it is. We're going to take it outside, and we're going to start. So we had these nice handles that were originally black, and we refinished in copper, right? Mm-hmm. Saker style doors traditionally do not have handles though, right? And these doors actually have a nice side reveal that you can open them
lip
without a handle.
And that goes all the way around the door. It's at the top, the sides, and the bottom, so that's really handy.
So we're going to decide, we haven't decided yet if we're going to reuse the handles or not. That we spend quite a lot of time trying to make perfect.
Well.
And we found matching handles for other things.
It was also an economical decision to repaint what was there.
Right, and that time we hadn't really thought about making Saker style doors, right?
Yep.
And we're going to probably have to fill this with a, what do you call it? A little putty or something there. Mm-hmm. Putty or something.
Putty or something.
So even though we're outside, because it's MDF, Miss Wizard wants to make sure we're using the vacuum, because MDF is nasty for your lungs, right?
Correct.
And we do not need
Safety first.
nasty. We don't need nasty. Now we have left this unchanged, so we're going to do all our ripping at the same level, at the same setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they will match throughout the cabinets,
Right.
and we don't have to reset it every time to make sure.
Right.
Now, if we do make a mistake, we have a couple of small pieces that we could easily put here and
Right.
reset it for some reason. But ideally, I prefer to leave it as it is and make my cuts.
Right.
The idea. We cut the two verticals, and we don't have a horizontal cut yet. But as you can see, when you look at this corner, you see it starts looking already like a secure style, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just have to get this dimension, and probably I want to get this dimension after we attach this. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You want to have the other two in place so you get a precision
Right.
fit. It's really important to have it fit exactly.
But you can see the idea. I mean, this is a nice reveal here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we've cut two more pieces, just as we did with our first door, and we actually measured with the long piece exactly the length that we need it. We don't want any mistakes. It has to be 100% flush with the ends of the cabinet. And we're just gonna start gluing it down. We've got liquid nails here.
And this is the process we didn't show you on the first one. That's why we're showing it to you now. It is exactly what we did, but we did not capture it on video. When you're ready. And the pin nails leave absolutely no sign that they were there, so they are a very good choice. Because we don't need strength here, we just want it held in place.
While
right?
the adhesive cures. Okay.
With the two sides attached, we're going to use a piece to mark exactly when we need to cut it. And when you cut these pieces, it's always better to be a little proud, and then you can sneak into the cut. Because there's not much you can do if you're actually long, right?
You mean short.
No, if you're right, sure.
If you're short, then you have to use that piece somewhere else and get a new one. But if you're long, you can always shorten it.
And here's our first door, and you can see now the dimensions of how it looks. These just need to be painted, right? I mean, that's the only thing we need to do.
Right.
So we're going to do that. We're going to finish one so you can see the difference, but then we're going to have to set an assembly line to do everything else, right?
Yep.
Because it is not time efficient to do it one at a time.
Correct. But we need to make sure that you're absolutely flush with all of the dimensions, because it will show if it's off.
In the same token, we want to test and make sure that the MDF, or to see how much the MDF absorbs. We might have to do 2 coats on the MDF and 1 on the door, you know? We'll see. All right, folks, we're going to get set up for paint and we'll be right back. So we purchased what we hope or think is going to be a good match for our cabinets, right? The worst thing that can happen is that we will need to paint the carcass of the cabinets too, which we try to avoid, but I mean, if we have to do it, it's not a catastrophe, right?
Right.
Worst things could happen. So we are just stirring the paint we purchased, and the moment of truth is upcoming, right?
Yep.
We are going to shortly know the good, the bad, and the ugly of the decision. we're going to fill the holes that they are left from the hardware with some white silicone, which is a preferred at this point because first of all it's white, and secondly it allows for expansion and contraction, so it is not going to reappear by drying in a different rate than the wood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with that done, we are getting ready for the paint. So we started the painting, and it looks that it is a pretty decent match, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the rest of the door. Of course, we won't know for sure until we're done, but it looks pretty decent right now. And it doesn't have to be identical, of course, you know.
You want to make sure that any runs or drips or any imperfections in your brush strokes, so we're doing brush first, it's kind of the cutting in part, to make sure that everything is covered, because the roller won't get to these fine sections. But we want to make sure that anything that is a drip or a run gets smoothed out as quickly as possible, because it will definitely show in the finish.
And pay attention to your corners, because there will be anything not taken care in a corner will be visible, right?
Right.
So as you see, it has started transforming already. And we're thinking we'll probably have to do a couple of coats on the MDF, because it's raw MDF, right? I mean, it probably will absorb a lot.
And we did purchase a Paint Plus primer all-in-one, but still, it's very absorptive of the paint.
Right. Plus, we don't want it blotchy. We don't want it blotchy, right?
No, not at all. This should look as if it was sprayed on.
So we'll do as many coats as we need to make it look perfect, or as close to perfect as we can make it, right?
Yep.
But you can see the door transforming already, right? It has, I like the nice sharp edges that it has, right?
Yep. It's very modern, this design. I mean, you think about Shaker, it is very traditional, but it's also very modern because of the clean lines.
And when you think how much it costs to redo a kitchen, this is a fairly inexpensive, what we'll call it, a facelift.
Oh, definitely.
Now it will take some time. We're not going to show you the whole kitchen today. It is repetitive, you know, you need to make sure you don't make mistakes in your cuts, right? We took our time with these cuts. Our corners look very good. What do you think?
Yeah, they are. And I think that's a benefit of using, you know, MDF, because there's no bowing,
Right.
knots to deal with.
Right, you don't have to worry about expansion and contraction that will open the joints. It is a dimensionally stable material, right?
Yep.
And right now it looks good. We want to see if when it dries, if it's going to. I mean, right now it looks great to me. What do you think?
Yep.
Very nice, crisp, clean lines.
And I'm also using, with this roller,
Yeah.
I bought a very smooth nap, so that we can, you know, leave a smooth finish behind. You don't want anything that's going to make it clumpy.
And we might switch, when we do the production run, we might switch to our sprayer. It will make more sense if we have all the cabinets out or laying around, but I think it looks very smart.
So
What do
far,
you think?
so good. Yep.
All right. It's a nice color. So here we are, the door untouched and the finished product. And as you can see, it is a substantial improvement, at least in our opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the color, the white, is pretty decent match. I mean, this is much cleaner, this is dirtier and so
Well,
forth.
yeah, but in terms of the color match, I think it's pretty
Right.
good.
A very well needed upgrade on these old cabinets.
Yep.
So we're going to repeat this process. These two specific units are unique in size. There are the only two this size. So we could not really mass produce them or make an assembly line. but we have a lot of cabinet doors that are identical, in which case we're going to be able to do an assembly line, right?
Okay.
Cut all the pieces together, paint them all together, etc. But for now, I just wanted to show you the finished product here, compared to the old one, and you can see the difference, right?
Yep.
So here we are in the shop with both our doors drying, because Mother Nature here in North Carolina decided it's time for a storm. For outdoors painting facilities are closed temporarily. But we're going to let this dry for a little bit, and then we'll be right back with you. So unfortunately, Mother Nature had different plans for us, so we only finished 2 of the cabinet fronts, and here they are installed. And of course we're going to do the same here on top, right? On these door fronts. But you can see the difference between the old and the new.
Yeah.
And how immediately it modernizes the look. And you can imagine when we finish the whole kitchen, it will be amazing, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to look really good.
So Miss Wizard, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I really like it. And I do think that we can get away with not having any pulls on the cabinets
Well,
drawers.
it is a matter of look right now. That you don't need
Right.
them the way these are constructed, but yeah, I mean it is great, I think. Anyway, this is a kitchen makeover. We didn't finish it, of course, but you can do it for less than $50, right? You need a half a sheet of MDF, and our other expense was the paint.
Yep.
And then, of course, your label, right? But
Right, and that's if you have the cabinet doors that you want to modify, and if you have hardware that you are going to use,
right,
or you decide not to use hardware.
and you're talking about pools now, because you will have to use hardware.
Poles, yeah, but like if you already have cabinets, then you have the hinges and
Right,
such
yeah.
that you need. So
So I think this is an unheard of value in kitchen remodeling, right? $50 is nothing. We're talking most contractors will ask a few $1,000s at minimum to just paint. We had our old kitchen painted and it was $5,000 just to paint them. Nothing else changed. So I think, especially if you like this look, is a very good idea to upgrade your kitchen, modernize it, etc. Right? Well, friends, we hope you enjoyed this episode and inspired you to tackle your own kitchen upgrade. And if you did, we will appreciate a thumbs up. If you didn't hit the other button twice, say a like, subscribe, so you can enter our giveaway. We're getting very close to 8,000 right now, so this is the last call, maybe the last opportunity before our next video. And so we do want to give you the item away if you're the lucky winner. Let us know if you like this kind of product, the episode, and what else you might want to see in our channel. From Dr. Wizard, Mrs. Wizard, Elpida, and the Urban Homesteading channel, wash your hands, get vaccinated, put your masks on, and stay safe, so we'll see you again in our next episode. Stay safe, friends.